How are you, sir?
Perfectly fine, Alhamdulillah.
That's great, mashallah. So tell us something about yourself, about your education, about your work experience and all.
Basically, I'm a mechanical engineer. And I have been working in the industry for the last 21 years. So after completing my engineering, I started working in a steel industry. So with the passage of time, I realized that I need to complete my education first. Because along the way, when you get the experience, eventually you will need more skills and more education basically, so that you can basically run the organization, being at senior positions. So that is the reason I decided to go back to university even after 10 years of working experience. So I did my MBA in marketing, sales and marketing, and then I was lucky basically that I got an opportunity to travel to different other countries, especially Europe, and I got some certifications. That is a kind of informal, but it's like specialized education, professional education, which covers like rolling bearing technology certification from different other countries, including Sweden, Germany, Holland, Italy, Switzerland, Malaysia, Singapore, Dubai. So that is where my career path was changed basically. So I met with different people, I worked with different companies, and I realized that there is a huge gap. The way of working in Pakistan as a professional is not up to the mark as people do in other countries. So I started improving myself, and I started improving the way I used to work. So that is where basically all the difference was made.
All right, that's great. So you have got your education from Pakistan, and you have also got so many trainings from abroad, from other countries. What do you think? What is the basic difference of learning in Pakistan and in abroad?
Basic difference is basically the approach, the vision. Actually, in Pakistan, most of the people tend to get education only because they want to get a job. But in real world, in other countries, people go for skills, and they try to acquire some skills which basically can help them to excel in their career. So whatever you do, you need to be good at doing that thing. That is basically a missing element in Pakistan when we see in corporate industry.
Yeah, that's the true dilemma that we see over here, that every student who is learning, that he is learning only for that certificate, and that certificate is also only for to get a job. But how about the way you mentioned that you find it out that the way people are working here in corporate sector or in their offices, it's not up to the mark. So what was the real flaw that you found here?
The real flaw basically is that people are not doing the job what basically they are good at to do. Somehow, some way, they have started doing something because they have not choose the education according to their personal interest. They have not got the opportunity to choose the right job for themselves. So this is the reason they are not basically happy with that job actually. So they are doing it because they are getting salary. So this is the reason they are unable to put 100% into that job, into that work basically. So how can you expect 100% result when you are not putting 100% efforts, and your heart and mind is not basically into that? This is the reason that people are not basically being able to flourish within their career.
So the basic reason what I understand for this, that if you're working for some organization, you're not happy but still you're doing it for money, you cannot take decision, a strong decision like makes a difference between a successful person and a failure. We got it. It needs courage. It needs a strong decision. But who is responsible? I mean, if this is happening over here, who is responsible? He himself is responsible. His teachers, his trainers, might be his parents, his society, government, institution. Who is responsible?
Everybody is responsible basically. So it's like, first of all, it is the job of the government, number one, to provide the basic infrastructure, equal opportunity for everybody. Then it is the job of the teachers who are basically teaching every student in the school, university and colleges. So they have to provide quality education. At the same time, parents' role is very important. They need to create an environment at home so that the kids and children are basically being brought up properly according to the current society needs and demands. So parents, teachers, government, all institutions, until the age when the person itself, himself, reach through some age that he becomes an adult and he starts taking decisions for himself or herself. After that age, he is also responsible. For example, if I went to steel industry, I started working there, I realized that I'm not made to do that job. So that realization came after like 22 years. So after that, even after that, if I continue working in the same environment and I don't change my career, then I am the responsible person, not my parents, not my teachers. But before that age, when I am dependent on society, parents, teachers and other people, so that is the time when they are more responsible, I am less responsible. So this is how we can build basically a better society, by providing equal opportunity, equal rights, equal education. So everybody is responsible basically.
Yeah. So if we put it in a nutshell, so what do you think? What should be the baby step, the step 0, the step 1 that we consider this is where we have to take a start? I mean, should it be the education, training? For instance, you were saying the parents are also responsible. They should create an environment where he should learn all these things that he has to work dedicatedly. So what do you think? Like, should there be some sort of trainings for the parents as well, might be for the instructors or for the trainers, or training itself is the solution?
It is actually an evolutionary process. So with the passage of time, things are changing. So the thinking and the vision of parents and teachers and institutions is changing. Even the vision of individuals is changing, because you know the today's kid who is basically at the age of 10 years is more mature than the age basically when I was at 10 years old. So this is the way things are evolving actually with the passage of time. So I believe that education is the answer of all questions. So how you can improve, number 1, quality of education, number 2, provide education to each and every person in Pakistan, and number 3, providing them the education which is basically suitable for their career. So everybody cannot become a good doctor, everybody cannot become a good engineer. So if you, for example, a few years back, the Vice Chancellor of King Edward Medical University, they invited us at their office and we went there to meet him. He said, I have a problem. I get students from all areas of Pakistan. But there are many students who are not supposed to be a good doctor. They don't basically have that potential inside them that makes them a good doctor. They get the number, they qualify for the admission, but they are not the people who should be the ideal doctors. So help me to improve them, basically to provide them the personality development classes, doctor-patient relationship classes, language classes. So all these things we designed and we started teaching at King Edward Medical University for 6 to 1 batch of 300 students. So that made a difference basically, and we realized that this is the case with every discipline in Pakistan. We have been lucky to go to UET, UMT, Punjab University, Benazir Bhutto Shahid University, Peshawar, BZU, Kinnaird College, Lahore College for Women University, Lahore University. So everywhere we have realized that students are studying, they are learning something, but that's not close to their heart. They don't want to become a doctor, but they are in the process of becoming a doctor. So that is the reason after getting the qualification and degree, they will not be able to put 100% into that profession.
So what thing that we can consider that whole of the education system is based on reading and writing?
Yeah.
I mean, speaking is not there, even listening is not there, personality development is not there, decision making skills is not there. Culture is not there. Yeah. So we got this thing, and the way you said that you have provided so many trainings into different universities, renowned universities. How did you start these training things?
Yeah. So that's a very funny story basically. I was working with a Swedish company in Pakistan, and the company, the immediate manager, who basically my immediate manager, he asked me to go to Rawat near Islamabad. There is a company, Sadiq feed mills. Basically they produce feed for the chicken. Okay. So I was given a task to go there and conduct a brief training session for food doctors on using our product in their company. So I got the presentation, I went there and I started talking to doctors in the presentation, and I realized that they started sleeping. They were literally sleeping in the session, everybody. Even I realized that what is going on. I was unable to engage them. I was unable to deliver the message. I was not being able to convey what I was supposed to do in that session. So this realization made me to think like, am I going to conduct this kind of training ever again or not? And I decided that this is what I loved to do, and I have to improve. And I started improving, and you know, the presentation had 488 slides, and few months later I was capable of conducting that presentation without looking at the PowerPoint slides, and all 480 slides were like on my fingertips. So I tried to learn how to conduct a proper presentation, the way of communication, how to engage audience, how to design and deliver the presentation according to the need of the audience. So it took me almost 11 years to basically skill, and still I'm learning. So it's a continuous process. With your age and experience and observation and exposure, you become more mature to deliver the message in a best way.
So first of all, I must appreciate your courage that you're sharing your experience, but otherwise, like, because everybody over here is afraid of the failure, and you're sharing your failure story, and the failure made you to take this decision that I have to do this. There is a saying that if you find to do anything difficult, you have to do it more.
Exactly.
And you did it, and mashallah, you are one of the successful trainers in Pakistan now. So what sort of trainings do you provide?
My major area is like engineering and maintenance. So being engineer and having experience of engineering for the last 21 years, I am more focused and more qualified to conduct rolling bearing technology training programs across Pakistan. Even I have been conducting these sessions in UAE for quite a short time, but that's also a part of my experience. So rolling bearing technology means like every industry has machines, and every machine has some rotationary parts. So we provide technical training to industrial clients so that their machine life is basically enhanced, and they can get better production, better processing time with minimum cost of maintenance and failures. They can reduce the failures. So we provide them training on basic bearing knowledge, then designation systems of bearings, and bearing failure analysis. Actually, that is something. The basic subject is like, in Pakistan there are only one or two people who basically are capable to conduct this kind of failure analysis training. So we provide this training to all sugar industry, cement industry, food and beverages, steel industry, and paper industry, everywhere, even textile industry. So we help them to improve their processes, their maintenance processes, their production processes, so that they can get maximum benefit of production with minimum cost of maintenance.
All right, that's great. But that is for industry.
That is
for general public.
Exactly. Based on my exposure and experience, I always love to conduct sessions on career counseling for students, because I have been a permanent faculty member with Higher Education Commission for the last 5 years, and I have been lucky to conduct training programs on different soft skills programs across Pakistan within 32 universities. So communication skill, presentation skills, work delegation, effective team building, sales and marketing, being head of sales in Pakistan at RKB Europe. So sales and work delegation, monkey management is a specialized program which I am doing in Pakistan for the last 10 years. So these are basic essential skills basically. I conduct basically.
Monkey management is a very funny name.
Yeah.
What is that?
Monkeys are basically tasks.
All right.
For example, if somebody comes to you and asks you, I have a monkey on my back, and I want you to take this monkey on your back. How do you feel at that time? You will say definitely no, thank you so much. I don't want to take your monkey. Like if if you are heading to a meeting and I come across and I say, I have to talk to you about a very important topic, and you will say, okay, fine, I will give you a call in the evening, let's talk then. So you have got the monkey. The monkey jumped from my back to your back. So you are now supposed to call me back at the evening time. Otherwise you can say that, okay, fine, Khurram, don't worry, I want to talk about this topic with you. Right now I'm heading to a meeting, so why don't you give me a call in the evening? So the monkey stays with me. So this is how you can handle not basically taking every single nitty-gritty task from your subordinates and pile up on your back, and you are unable to deliver your basic core responsibilities. So as a manager, people fail because they take a lot of extra nitty-gritty tasks.
That's a wonderful training, by the way. And what do you think is the real definition of soft skills, and what is the real need in our society nowadays?
Technical skills are important, but when basically I categorize skills in three categories. Number one is technical skill. Technical skill means like driving the car, operating the telephone, using the gun as a soldier on the border. These are technical skills. And technical skills, if somebody learns technical skills, he will always remain on the front line. He will remain on the junior positions. So if you want to grow in your career, then you need to have human skills, like how to deal with humans, how to manage them, how to manage their emotions, their skills, their work. So if you want to go to middle management level, then you need to have human skills. And if you want to further grow in your career, then you need to have intellectual skills. The visionary aspect of leading a team, a company, a country. So these are three important categories, and I believe every single human being should have all these three skill sets. So essential skills are basically part of human skills and intellectual skills. So this is how I basically look at this.
What a great definition. I never thought it that way. These are the mechanical, technical, and then human, and then after that intellectual. Sir, thank you so very much for your time. It was a wonderful session with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.